This is a 3-hole course vlog, jam-packed full of tips that require 0% skill, but just damn right common sense that are going to make a massive impact on your game. I know for a fact that a lot of golfers just tend to forget to use their common sense out on the golf course. I have been guilty of it, and you know what? I got stubborn over this a few times and didn't want to accept a few of these tips that we're going to go through today. And as we're going through it, you're going to think, we can tee it up. Well, just, you know that feeling where you're like, I get that. Right, okay, let's start off on this first tee shot, the 12th hole. Wind is off our left. Okay, take this shot here. Wind off our left. Most of us as right-handers, we slice the golf ball, don't we? Now, what I want you to think about here is when we got that wind off our left, let's just move our aim 10 yards a bit further to the left, just to take into account that this ball is going to move a little bit more in the air. So how I think about this is, you can see your fairway in front of you. I just shift it 10 yards left, and then I know I can overcompensate it moving a little bit more left to right in the air. So looking at this hole here, I'm going to take that tree on the left as my aiming point and just allow it to move back on the wind. Just like that. Let it curl off, give you a better chance of hitting that fairway. Just making that margin of error so much bigger. Let's jump down the fairway. So this is a prime example where we've ended up here. Downhill lie, yes, we're on the fairway, but look how severe that is. Now, simple, really simple this. Got to imagine, let's say it's 8 iron. I don't know what club it is, we're around 150, so it's probably going to be around this club, right? On a flat lie, let's say this, that's how our 8 iron would sit. Now, we're on a downhill lie, look how our 8 iron turns into something like a 7 iron, 6 iron, something around that. So we're taking loft off that club because we're going to have to get our weight down that slope. We're going to have to get our body adjusted to that slope. So, first thing, I'm going to take one club less here. 150 is usually around a 7 iron. I'm also then going to match my weight to the slope and slightly grip down. Anytime I got a shot like this, don't try and fight the slope. Swing down the slope and try and feel like you got that 3/4 speed. So here we go. Flag is quite central. Weight down that slope. And it's going to come out so much lower than you anticipate. That's bob on that. We are, the word I'd use is dancing. And I'm going to get my divot back and I'll see you by the green. This really riles me up. When nobody repairs their pitch marks. And you know what? You people who don't repair them are the people who moan about the quality of the greens. So repair them. Right, next shot. Look where we ended up. We're on the fringe, aren't we? So the rules I want you to use in situations like this is really nice and simple. Common sense, really. If you can put it, we're going to put it. If you can chip it, well, let's try and chip and run it first off. Last resort, get it in the air. So I'm putting this all day. Wow. It's cold and wintry. Look where I went through. Nate, good. Okay, so it's difficult to gauge this sometimes, isn't it? Through this sort of fringy aspect. So just give it a walk the length of the putt and know that it's going to travel a little bit slower in that fringe than it will on this green. Right, a few practice strokes, looking at the hole, like if you were throwing an apple into the bin, trying to take into account what speed you've got to put in. All you're looking to do is cozy this one up close. Oh, that is a knee knocker. Par to start. Now, the next hole is actually the stroke index 1 here, so toughie. 13th hole, stroke index 1. Really, really watch this one. There's going to be a few things that are cropping up that are key. Okay, so from the tee, it's the hardest hole on the golf course, it's the longest hole on the golf course, and it's into wind today. I want you to think about this as being a par 5 for you. 99% of people are going to have a shot on this hole, so play it as a 3-shotter up to the green. Don't go after the tee shot. I've been guilty of that, of into the wind, hardest hole, leather the tee shot, wang it into the crap, then you're done, aren't you? You can't take advantage of actually having a shot and maybe squeezing in a 3-pointer. So conservative from the tee in terms of line and in terms of what speed you put into the shot. Right, so I've teed my ball a little bit lower. I'm into the wind. I'm not looking forward to this one. That is a terrible tee shot. I just towed the nuts off that. No good. We're in play. It's definitely going to be a 3-shotter. But look where I just struck that from. Not good. Honesty is the best policy, right? We're never going to hit all perfect shots and probably going to hit more bad shots than we do good. But it's how we deal with it. So let's go and see where this one ended up. See where this one has ended up. Okay, so this is really important. I'm severely out of position and it's going to be narrow to sort of go to this green. So anytime this ball is massively above your feet as it is here, it's going to want to start a little bit left and move with a little bit of right to left for a right-handed player. So simple things, the more loft you have, the more severe it wants to start left and the more severe the curve will be. So I'm going to go 7-iron here. I'm going to grip down and I'm just going to have a little bit of a punch shot. I just want to get it back in play, round about 110 yards, and then wedge it onto the green. Like we said from the tee, treat it as a 3-shotter, worst case scenario, 5 for 2. Get it back in play. There we go. Final approach shot into the 13th here, so we've sort of managed our situation well so far, is an uphill pitch. I think around about 100 yards we'll have here, maybe a bit less. So 91. So I use that word uphill. Anytime that it's uphill, that shot is going to play a little bit further than you anticipate. Some of you may have a laser with a slope or adjustment in there. If you don't have it, don't worry. Just realise it's going to play a little bit longer. So 91, I'm going to imagine it's going to be playing, let's say 100 yards. It's quite a steep hill. So I'm going to play my 100-yard shot, and I'm going to do that with my 50-degree. Right, I'm really hoping we can get this close and try and get a putt for a par. Worst case, we're making 5. 100 yards, here we go. Oh, be good, that's all over it. Woo-hoo-hoo! We could have a close putt for a par. Look where we've just ended up. Look at that. So, from a bad tee shot, a recovery second, because I've kept myself in play all down the hole, I've now got a decent opportunity for a par 3-pointer. Worst case from here, I'd like to think we're making a 5. Whew, what a 4. One word for this tip, crucial, absolutely crucial. So this is a hole where you have to be in play. You have to play for position. So have a look at the side of the screen here. You can see there's a tree and there's a bit of a mound on the left. You have to negotiate these two. Now, in this case, it's better to be a little bit further back on a flatter lie than try and hit driver on that downhill slope. Because you're playing to an elevated green, hitting on that downhill slope for your second shot makes it a much harder play. So, I'm going to go with 4-iron here, or actually no, we're going to go with our hybrid. Play for that position. It's a bit of an easier club to hit, isn't it? Play for that position, away from that tree, and the key thing with this is, if you do go behind that tree, I'm going to be far enough back to negotiate it, and also I'm going to have a flat stance. Right, let's get this one down there. There we go. Got to be one of your favourite clubs, but one that you don't use enough from the tee. So after you watch this video, I've actually done a full video on this. It's only about 5 minutes, about all the situation scenarios you can use your hybrid in. So at the end of the video, be sure to go and check that out. We're in play. Let's go and hit the green. This is exactly what I was meaning, playing for position. The big old tree just there, and also the downhill slope just in front of us. So now I have got a really, really flat stance, making this approach shot to an elevated green, well, it's still hard, but a lot easier than it could have been on that downhill slope or in that bleeding tree, which I've been in plenty of times. Right, let's get a yardage. This is a toughie, this. It's a little bit damp, this fairway. Have to make some adjustments here. 152, damp lie. Now, it's not wet enough to get relief from casual water, unfortunately. So what I do here is, to guarantee getting that ball first, this is crucial, I play it like a punch shot. I feel I can hit down on it a little bit easier. Now, going back to the start of the video, let's be genuinely sort of, well, honest with each other now. What shot would you hit here? You probably wouldn't have thought of hitting this shot, and it goes back to not being stubborn, or like I was, too stubborn, okay? Listening to that new information and just thinking, oh, well, yeah, you know what? Yeah, well, that does make sense. Just like this shot. So, hitting a punch shot, we're just gonna move that ball back in our stance, grip down a little bit, and wait on our front side, favouring. Okay, middle of the green, away from that flag here. Middle of the green, as safe as houses. Gonna have a long putt though. Look how wet that was. That divot's just disintegrated. Look how long this putt is. Now, a simple piece of advice here, just actually walk the length of the putt. Get a feeling of what the distance is, all the way there, and then I would just stand here and go, right, okay, take into account how long the putt is. Right, you stay there, I'm gonna hit this putt down to you and hopefully knock it close. Bit longer than I wanted to leave myself. Right, thank you so much for watching today. If you did enjoy this video, let me know if you did, and well, thanks for watching.